The curse of small thinking I see all the time, and I've experienced for myself, is everyone's fighting for a 100K starter home. And in my area, you can still do that. Or they're a flip or a single family rental. And that's the 2X space. There's nothing wrong with that. I take those deals as they come. I'm not beating anybody up for it, but it's crowded and it's noisy. And when I aimed for techs, I kept my bad habits because they still mostly worked. But in techs, these habits break immediately. So trying to manage 2 rentals by myself, it was annoying, but managing 20 myself would be impossible without any help at all. You can still do that. You can still put effort into it. You can still probably manage 40 by yourself for 50. But when you force, a 10X will force you to build systems, which I think are awesome. And that mental fatigue goes away because now you have systems to rely on and to go back to. This is where you go from being a hobby landlord, as a friend of mine calls it, to being a business owner. So systems are what help things run, make decisions easy to execute on. So let's talk about real quick, letting go of the 80%. I've learned that to let go in the 10X, you have to let go of more things and say no to more things. And I had to kill off the good opportunities to make room for the great ones early on. I would ask, how do I fix this? Or now I ask, who is the best person to handle this? So that challenged me in my business. And it shifted everything. I had to stop being a handyman with a portfolio and start becoming a CEO in my financial world. I'm responsible. I had become a CEO of my financial life with an asset class to manage. So when you're eliminating, the 80% is the hidden weight I was carrying around. So I relate a lot to the story of 10X is easier than 2X and what it talks about, because I was working nonstop, answering emails, chasing deals, trying to improve everything. But growth was still slow. When I stepped back, I realized most of what I was doing actually didn't drive results. A small percentage of my work was creating almost all of my progress, optimizing everything I could. I cut out roughly 80% of what I was doing, and I hyper-focused. And I looked at those draining opportunities and I dropped those projects that didn't move the needle. I stopped saying yes to things that just felt productive, and what was left were my best relationships, my highest return activities, and my core strengths. And that's when everything started compounding. I realized growth doesn't come from doing more. It comes from removing what doesn't really matter. Does that make sense? So building the 10X infrastructure, I realized 10X is like, this was mind blowing for me. 2X is like 1 + 1, but a 10 times growth pattern, or 10X, is like 2 × 5. It's leverage to scale. I focus on 3 things. So this is really important. Look at leverage everywhere in your life. How can you leverage what you're doing? How can you leverage other people's time opportunity? This real quick. You've probably heard this before. There's 3 things I try to scale on to focus. The 3 R's: OPM, other people's money. So I give them a good return for their money, for me to borrow it to buy something or to fix something up on a project. They win, I win. To me, it's great. It adds a lot of value to them. It helps me. Other people's time. What skill or knowledge set do I not have from somebody that I can leverage, either pay them for or trade or utilize and give value in return? So other people's money, other people's time, and then the systems that run without me, because I can't make 10X on my own. Can't save enough time. You can't save enough money. You never save your way to wealth. You never save time. Does that make sense?